I'm ready. We're going to talk about it. You all want it. It's coming. Here it is. I've got a lot to get off my shoulders here, right? This video might go to 10 to 15 minutes. No longer, hopefully. But we're going to talk about it, okay? Today's the day. For those who don't know what we're on about, today we're talking about chavs. Now, I know a few people from the United States and other countries wanting to know what was a chav. So, I'm ready here. I've got my equipment. I've got a few examples to show you today. I've not got a lot, I'm sorry. So I'm just going to leave it up to my imagination to describe it to you in my best way, and you can use Google Images later on. Now, first off, I want to talk about a chav. What is a chav? Basically, a chav is it's a person in England. They may have chavs in your country, but I won't call. You might have different names from over there. Basically, what a chav is. He walks down the street, girls tend to be worse. Use that. Girls tend to be worse. Basically, what they do is, they call you for no reason. You get insulted, you get hit, you get beaten up, you get robbed for no reason at all. You could walk down the street, you could walk down my estate, and you're already beaten up. Another thing I have to clear up is, I know a few people have been saying, England really isn't that bad, right? I know in my last video I made it like I put across that England was really bad. It's not. Trust me, it's not. Take my word for it. England really isn't that bad. Proud to be English. Basically, it's where you live in England, right? I know some people ask me questions like about Newcastle. Is Newcastle bad, etc. I don't know. I haven't been to those places. You'll have to look for yourself. But basically, I know where I've been here, and they're here, right? They're in my place. So, if you've got them there, fine, but I've got them here, and I'm going to talk about them as they are here, right? So if they're different over there, man, I'm sorry. So basically, you'll walk down the street, like I said, right? You walk down the street with a piece of technology, say my camera. I walk down the street with my camera, right? They've spotted it, right? They're born with infrared sensors in their eyes, right? Like, you know, the Predator, they can do stuff like that. By the end of the street, they know how much money is in your pocket, they know if you're carrying your keys, they know if you've got technology for ring the police. Yeah, so they're getting ready for jump you, right? So you walk forward, right? You can't avoid them, no. If you're walking up the street and they're at the end of the street, you can't go left, you can't go right. You face your death. That is it. You were walking to your death, right? You were walking to your death. That's final, right? It's like Gladiator. You walk through those gates. You know, the Colosseum. It all closes. Bang. You'll never wake up again. If you turn left or you turn right or you go back, if you walk backwards, if you walk forward for about 2 minutes and then walk backwards, and they see you, you're dead. They run like Olympic athletes. I'm serious. They could be fat, they could be skinny, they could be tall, they could be eating an hamburger, they could be smoking cigs. Chavs love cigs so much. But if they see you've got technology, or you avoid them, if you avoid your death, it's like Final Destination, if you avoid your fate, they'll run, they'll drop the cigs. They'll drop them. It's crazy. They'll run, they'll chase you, they'll hunt you, they'll kill you. It's that bad. Over it. If this is my town, right? State, whatever you want to call it. It's that bad, right? That is a chav. They'll call anybody from the ages 0 to 100. Like I said, they have no souls. They don't have feelings. They don't care or anything. The only things they care for, cigs, cider, and fellow chavs. Right. So I'll start off my piece. I've just got notes here from what to talk about. So you know what I'm doing, you know, not edited, just notes. Right, how to identify a chav. Now, if you're an American, not fellow, because I'm not American, but if you're an American person, an American friend of mine, or just a friend, you're all friends, we're all friends here. If you're an American person, or Canadian, Swedish, Scottish, whatever you are, if you come over to England, you need to know what a chav is, right? If you have an iPod video I'll send you this video so you know what a chav is. So when you're on plane, or you know, you get off plane and you're collecting your bag and you're walking through Manchester Airport, whatever, you can watch this video and then you'll spot them as soon as you get out, because you don't want your luggage nicked, do you? You don't want your luggage nicked. They'll nick it though. They'll nick it. They can see what's in your suitcase, right? They know, you know. Competitions where you win stuff in cans, they've won it. They can see. So basically, how to identify a chav. First off, the face. Scrawny, drugged up, their eyes, like, shit like that. Sorry for swearing. Bloodshot, off their heads, right? Loud. A chav is always loud. If you walk, I just heard someone laughing then, that's a chav. If you walk down the street and you can hear someone, hey, chav. All they do is shout. They can do nothing more but shout. If it's a conversation with a chav is a shout, you know. Hiya Paul, how you doing? I'm doing okay! That's it. It's just shouting. It's right in your ear. You know, my eardrums are killing after today. I've been around a few. You know, hold on. So, scrawny face, loud. They hardly have any hair, right? Some people, it's different with hair, because I've got longer, so... But with chavs, usually, skinhead, whatever, skinhead, you know, so they can go through barbed wire when they're breaking into buildings, and not get their hair cut, stuff like that. Second off, speaking about the top of half of the body. You know I told you about Burberry? Yes, some of you Google searched it, didn't you? I told you you'd throw up. Right, what they were is Burberry caps, right? You know normal hats, normal sports caps? They have those, but they're pointed, right? They're really, really pointed, right? So what it is, they just sit it on top of their head and it's really pointed. So with a bit of gush of wind and it's off. But that's style, right? This is what they were, right? Don't look at the other pictures, we're coming to those. I'll try and show you this. Right, just don't look at the others. Right, that is a Burberry cap. That is what they were. I know. I'm sorry for it. If anybody just cried or threw up, I'm sorry. You know, that is what they were, right? Going down to the lower part of the body. It starts off the neck. Gold chains, always gold chains. Cheap. So if you're walking into airports, look for the top part. But when you see gold chains and a green ring right? You also know. Right now the shirt. Always. Crappy sports designers or proper sports designers, but the shirts are nicked, like, you know, Fred Perry. It's all nicked. The dads nick it, or the mums. But always sports top, always track suits. If a chav's not wearing, if a chav's not wearing a tracksuit, he's not a chav. He's le chav. If you want to be top chav, if you want to be top cat in a chav world, you got a tracksuit on, you know, you've got the Fred Perry tracksuit, you know, you've got the Fred Perry cologne, you know, you've got Fred Perry tattooed on your face, you smoking Fred Perry cigs. No, you're top dog in our estate. No. Going to the jewellery, told you about the ring, right? A chav favourite, we all know it. If you don't know it, you're missing out. A chav favourite, the sovereign ring. Oh yes. Now, from rumours of the sovereign ring it's a coin in a ring, apparently, an old English coin. I don't know. I'm not fossilified. I don't know all this stuff. This is what it looks like. I know. It's about £4 and it's about that big on your finger, right? So it's when, you know, when they go bruising at night on Saturday nights. That's what it's for, a bit of bruising. You know, they put it on your face, right? Sometimes they get the names and subscribed in it. So then, when they go out bruising, they put a bit of fire on it, they smack it in your face, they say, "You've been tagged, mate." That's what they say. Sorry for the impressions. Right. Right, moving on. Try and make it fast. Tracksuit pants, you know, trainees, whatever. Socks pulled over the pants. If you don't do that, you're not a chav. I'll try and demonstrate, kids. I'll try and demonstrate, but I don't see how far I can lift my legs, because I won't keep the camera. Right, that's it. That's what they do. That's what they do. Crazy. I know. Right, moving on. Right, you know if I identify a chav, right, I'll just save that small part. If you want that for your video, you know, when you're on your plane, and you are scared, you be scared, be scared. Not saying you are. No, don't come to England thinking. Don't come to my estate or England, where the Chavs, thinking you can beat them. You can't. Nobody can. Nobody can. You can't beat them. Don't try. Don't attempt it. You need to see this to know who they are. Right. I think how to identify Chav. Done. Oh no. Yeah, done. I'll do the other part later. How to become a Chav. Do you want to be a Chav? No, you don't. Don't. But you know, I'll teach you through the basic steps of how people become Chavs, right? First, they start off young. It's parents. The parents who do it to them. If you have a rough parents, you become a Chav, right? I know kid lives close. Off his head, he's about 3. He's always swearing, shouting at people. You know, why? Why do it? Why? But you know, it's just what they do. It's just they can't help it, can they? You know. So you know, if you want to be a Chav, right? You shout. Every other word's a swear word. You could be reading Bible, you know. Our Father, you know what I mean? Filling gaps, love. Filling gaps, ladies and gentlemen. Why do it? They just swear all the time, shouting their heads off. You know, if you want to become a Chav, where you're at, you know, get your sovereign rings on, green ring around neck with fake jewellery. Get your Fred Perry clothes. You'd be sorted. You'd be right as roses in morning. That's how they do it. You tell me. I'm not a fan. You know, it's just... So that's how you become a Chav, right? Now, this is going to be the big one. What do Chavs do? What do Chavs do? Before I go into what Chavs do, let's start off with like how you meet a Chav. Like, say you're walking down the street and you come into these Chavs, right? Because everything they do is when you meet them, right? So let's start off, right? I got this image off Google Images. It's no one I know. It's no one probably a lot of people know. It's just random Google Images, right? So, you know, I don't think any cut out the faces, but it's just random Google Images, you know. Right. You may have seen it before. Chavs sat on a bench. Sat on a bench in the middle of nowhere. There's a good few of them, right? Now, if you look at this guy, right, all of a sudden, right, I can tell who the leader is, right? That guy. Look at his face. Right, notice how everybody else is looking around, but he's looking at somebody in particular, right? He's looking at him and he's got a red face, and he knows he's looking at him and he's saying, I'm the leader here. Come over, and me and my mates, we're going to deck you. That's what he's looking around for. Notice how his friend also, you know, the hoodies, the tracksuits, got all that. All tracksuits, hats, you know. That's a Chav. Right, done that one. Right, what do Chavs do when you meet them? What do they do? What do they do when you meet them, right? If you get close enough to a Chav and they don't say anything, you've been blessed, my friend. You've been blessed. Right? I myself have a few friends like that. They don't shout, they don't rob people, they like that music. You know, people would class them as that, but they're not, they're fine. So I've been close to a few people like that at recent occasions where I have been nearly mobbed. I'll tell you the truth. Because I live in such a rough state, but I'm fine. Never been attacked, never anything like that. Now, what do Chavs do? Like I said, Chavs smoke, right? This is an example of a Chav cigarette. Found personally by me. Look at that. Notice how it's so scrumpled up. It's because they're so angry when they smoke. Just angry people. Why are they so angry? Why are you angry? They're so angry. All the time angry. They scrumple them up and when they smoke them, it's, you know... Notice how the end is so discoloured. It's because Chavs don't have enough money to buy cigs for themselves. So they have a... This is called talk. It's called a talk. They talk it and then they pass it on to the mates. So that it's been in many people's mouths, right? Notice the smell. It smells like burning fire. That's the rage that they possess, right? Now this, you may have seen it on a few videos, it's called a stub end. A stub end, right? Chavs find stub ends on the floor and try to smoke them. A chav would try and smoke this, for just get the nicotine rush. That's what Chavs smoke, right? You know that. If you don't smoke, you're not a chav. Go away. If you come over and the hot chavs are smoking and you come over, you're like, yeah, I'm a chav, and they'll be like, do you smoke? You'll be like, no. They'll be like, what you doing, mate? Go away. Why? Why do you smoke? Second, what they drink. All chavs underage, they can't drink. They're not supposed to drink, but they do drink, right? Now, because chavs can't handle beer, alcohol, what they do is they drink cider, right? I've told you about it before. This is the most favourite cider in the world for a chav. Another Google Images picture, I'm sorry I couldn't get the real thing, but this is White Lightning. All chavs smoke it. Picture. It's White Lightning. It's about £2. £2 is, I don't know how many dollars it is. It's not a lot of dollars, I'll tell you that much. You bill less than $5 and all this stuff, I think. That's White Lightning. All they do, they stand on street corners, right? Stand on street corners, they'll stand at the front of your house. The front of your house they'll stand. They'll do that, just annoying. I'll come on to why they stand in front of your house. They stand in front of your house, drink inside, getting drunk. Smoking the fags, listening to... They do that. Why? Chaz, when they get drunk, they take everything too seriously. I know when people get drunk, you can't control yourself. Apparently, I wouldn't know. But why? They do so crazy things. Jump through windows. They'll break your car window when they're drunk and blame it on being drunk. You're underage, son. Get out. Why? Oh. Now, why are they standing in front of your house, you may ask? Because they like chases. What is a chase, you mates? Basically, what they do is they'll knock on your front door and peg it. They'll throw stones at your window. They do. I swear they do. They throw stones at your windows. They'll stand in front of your house. They'll give you fingers. So you chase them. What is a chase? A chase is when you run after them because you're so angry because of what they've done. You run after them and then they run away. They run away. Why? They'll stand in front of your house, they'll call you, they'll throw stones at your house, and when you go to confront them, they run away. That is a chase. You've done what they want. Don't run after them. If you don't run after them, they'll cry. They'll go home and cry. It's just unbelievable. You're gonna be angry now, a bit touchy. That's a chav for you. Why? Another thing, right? What can I go on to? So, they want chases, they want, right, so let's say, I said earlier they'll chase you if you walk away from them. So let's say you're walking down the street, right? Let's say you're on the other side of the road, right? This is for anyone that wants to come to America, come to England, right? Try and walk on the other side, right? If you can avoid it, do. But if you can't avoid it, face it. There's nothing more you can do. If you don't face it, and that's the only option, something bad's going to happen. So just walk on the other side of the road, right? Do not look at them. If you look at a chav, right, they will look at you. They'll stir you out, right? You'll walk down the side of the road, right? So say you're just walking around the road, like they'll stir you like this. Hey, Jimmy, check him out there. That's what they'll do. They'll stir you, right? And if you, by accident, just keep looking forward, just look forward, and pretend God is waiting, because God will be waiting. Because if you look at them, I wouldn't want to imagine it, mate. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Right, so say by accident, you turn around and you look at them. One glimpse. What are you looking at, mate? It's happened before with me, personally. If you look at them, you've broken the first commandment. The 10 chav commandments. You've broke it. Why? Why did you break it? Because now they're going to break your legs. And they will. What are you looking at, mate? So, we've pretty much gathered the bait. We've gone from basic, we've gone from intermediate, we're on advanced. You all know what you expect now. I don't need to carry on much longer, it's getting pretty long too. So basically, they'll rob your house, right? They will rob your house. They'll rob your house and they'll steal everything. You won't get it back. They'll rob your house, they'll come over the next day, you've seen it in a few comedy skits, but it's true, it really, they might be just joking around, but it does happen here. They'll rob your house, they'll come around the next day and they'll say, mate, I just robbed your house last night, I like your TV, see ya. That's what they'll say. They'll say that. You know, it's just petty theft. And it gets out of control, right? Like I said, you're an old woman, you're walking past, they'll call you, they'll steal you, they'll rob you. You know what you're dealing with now. A group of lads, or a group of girls, at front of your house, with beer in their hands, smoking cigs, wearing trackies, calling people for no reason. That is a chav. I've answered the question. And another thing on the last note is, what they also do is, they stand outside shops, right, asking for you for buying beer and cigs because they may be too young, right? And because, you know, because they haven't got a lot of money anyways, what they do is, they give you, like, 500 2p's, like, get me some beer, lad. 500 2p's, right? And then you walk it, if you buy it to them, good. But if you say no to a group of chavs that are asking for beer, don't say no. If you say no, they'll get the brother on you, they'll get the dad on you, they'll get the dad's dad on you, they'll get the prison warden on you, because the prison warden's on their team too, because he's even that scared. Right? Kids, adults, tubers, I've put across my message today. That is a chav. You know what a chav is, you know how to identify them, you know what they do. They are lower than law. Take this message with you, show it to your friends, keep it with you at all times, just so you know. Not to mistake one, not to mistake, accidentally, you know, you're walking past somebody, you don't realise that he's one of them. Because if you don't realise he's one of them, you're a dead man. Take it with you. Thanks, I hope you liked it, and then, you know, that is my story. Chavs. Right, hello. Basically what I'm doing today is, I'm going to talk about dating in England, right? I don't know much about dating in other countries, so I can't compare the two, you know, dating in England, dating in the US. So basically I'm just going to talk about dating in England, right? A few people have asked, you know, talk about dating in England, so I thought, right then, basically, we're going. Yeah. Dating in England, one boy likes one girl, right? I think it's simple, you ask them out. Oh! Wrong. Wrong. You don't ask them out. You don't ask out the girl you like. No! You're talking riddles there. Well, in England you are. You don't ask out the girl you like. What you do is you hit her. Yes, you heard me correctly. You hit her. So the girl that you're after, and you really like, you smash her in the face. With a stone, with a ball, with a bag. You hit her. Why? Why do it? I personally don't do that. I actually do ask the girls out. Right, but, you know, basically there are those people, there are those groups of chavs, you know, basically, because they haven't got man enough, they've got man enough to throw stones at someone's house and then run off. They can do that, yeah, of course they can, you know, because they're really hard. But, you know, when it comes to asking to a girl, like, they hit her. And that shows that you like them, and calling names too, so it's like, so instead of walking up to them and saying, Hiya Frankie, how you doing? Are you okay? It's, fucking hey you bitch, you bitch, I hate you, you a bitch, I hate you. That's what they do. It just makes no sense whatsoever. It goes above here with me. I see it happening every day, like a few of my friends, like, you know, they walk up to girls, they throw stuff at them and then call them names, and I'm like, oh, do you not like her? And they say, no, I fancy you. What? Why did you just do that then? because I don't know actually. I don't know. I know she hates me, don't she? So she'll never go out with me. Oh yeah. You know, I don't get it. And you know, after all the whole hitting and stuff, what they do is they get the friends to ask them out. You know, this is probably more common, probably more common than often. You know, because you might be scared to ask them out, but but you know, so they ask the friends to ask them out. So what they do is they hide behind a corner while the friends go in asking them out, and like they peep behind a corner. Tell her, go on. And then they sneak behind a corner again. And then what they do is they walk past his friend, asking the girl he likes out, and he walked past like that. What you doing, mate? What you doing with a bird? What you doing with a bird, you loser? You know, you've just asked that guy, asked that girl out for you, and then you're going walking past him, calling him a loser because he's with a girl, you know. What's going on? You walk past like that. What you doing, mate? What you doing with a bird? What you doing with a bird, you loser? And another thing, MSN. Oh, it's the killer. Because what you say on the internet, you can go in school tomorrow and you can pretend you never said it because it's MSN. You know, some crazy stuff you hear on there. Yeah, you know, you'll be watching your friend talk on MSN saying stuff like, when I come up to you tomorrow, I'm gonna seduce you like you've never been seduced before. Then the next day you're walking with your mate and he walks past her and he's all shy like this. What are you looking at? So basically, you know, I know other countries, you know, you see it on TV, it's all romantic, but in England, you know, if you want a girlfriend, smash her teeth in, call her a bitch while she's on the floor, then get your friend to ask her out while she's on the floor, then, when she's home from hospital, just tell her that you'll seduce her at school tomorrow, and you've got yourself a girlfriend. Why? But that's England dating for you guys and girls, you know. Bit of 1-2, then ask you to get your mate, and he'll be like, "Will you go out with me?" And then you'll walk past. What are you doing? But hello, me again. And they can't keep me off making videos. Right, this one might be long, I'm sorry, but if you're watching now, you might as well watch it all the way through because it might be interesting. I hope. Basically, what I'm talking about is life in England. Yes. If you already live in England, this is going to be funny because you can laugh at yourselves. And if you don't live in England, then you can find out more about us. Basically, I'm in England. Manchester, England. I don't live in Manchester, but I'm not going to tell you where I live, so Manchester, England. Manchester is, north somewhere. I don't know. Everyone affiliates England with London. I've never been to London. Don't know what it looks like. I know it's down south, about 2 hours away. Never been, don't plan on going. So you know, not everyone in England knows London. I do eat crumpets and tea, but not together. On very rare occasions, right? I don't have one of those posh accents, as you can tell. I have a dodgy accent. I don't know what you call it. That's basically, people have been spectacle about, is about when I made the video about saying I can't do videos outside due to these people called Chavs. Now, a few of you have been questioning me via personal messages and you know, replying to videos saying, you know, what you on about, lad? What I'm going to explain is, right, these people are a group, right? Goths, emos, rockers, whatever you want to call them. These people are also a group, right? But they're not a nice group. Yeah. Right. To be in the group itself, you have to have shaved hair. You have to like gay. Well, I wouldn't say it's gay because you know, rave music, you know, all that shit. You know, MCing that mic and shit like that. You have to like that music. You have to be brought up in basically a rough family. Now, what you do to class yourself in this chav group is that you walk down the streets of England with your hands down your pants, groping your penis. I'm being serious. My English friends comment, back me up. That's what they do, right? They walk down the streets, Burberry cap. If you don't know what Burberry is, Google search it and then you'll throw up. Burberry cap, Fred Perry top. I'm sorry if you wear this stuff and you're not a chav. Sorry, but this is what they usually wear. Fred Perry top, hands down pants, socks over the pants, over the trackies, trainers on. That is what a chav looks like. They have the rings, sovereign rings, chains around the neck, gold chains, and they have a very distinctive accent. It's not English, it's not foreign, it's chav. English, foreign, chav. That's all there is. Right? And I think I'm going to have to show you what this accent's like. I'm sorry out there. I know I'm going to lose a lot of respect from using this accent, but this is just a taste of how chav communication is, right? Alright, Nicky. I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry I did that. But that's the kind of communication they do, right? Basically, what they do is they hang around street corners, they hang around in front of your house, they hang around in your house, you know, they hang around in your front yard, parks, you know, a few of them just walk past them. You know, this is what they do, right? They stand around street corners, etc. There's about a group of 30 of them at least. They hang around in groups, so when you walk past, they can call you, and you're not going to call them back because, you know, there's about 30 of them. That's what they do, right? They're not heard. If you catch them on their own, you know, they're helpless. So what they do is they hang around streets with cider. If you don't know what cider is, basically it's a crap drink that gets you drunk really fast because it's really crap and cheap. And what they do is they hang around corners drinking cider, smoking every. If you're a chav and you don't smoke, you're not a chav. Basically, chav. Every one of them smokes. None of them like it. They don't like it. They don't like smoking. They have to smoke. If you don't smoke, you're not a chav. You know, you're not a group. You get levered. So basically, you hang around, you stand at street corners, and you just shout at people. Now, life in England, that is life in England, right? Because life in England revolves around these people, right? You do not have a happy life in England. Nobody has a happy life in England, apart from the rich and people that don't live next to these people or in their area. I think from the age of 0 to 100, you will get insulted, called, threatened by these people. Full stop. You could be 83 years old. You walk past a group of them lot. You could be 83. Insults, getting robbed, beaten. Those are the people that do it. Every time you hear on the news, it's those kind of people. Everyone else in England, you know, you got me. It's just normal, right? But you know, you got those kind of people. That's life in England at the basis, right? You know, if you there's nothing bad about England. Right? A bit of rain. It doesn't even rains that much. You know, England's hardly even rains. I'll tell you that much now. So basically, if you were ever interested in coming to England, the key spots to stay away from, people will back me up: Manchester, Liverpool, Moss Side. Don't get me started. I don't know about London. I don't think there is in London because, you know, I think it's kind of posh down there. I don't know. So basically, life revolves around these guys, right? If you have something expensive, they'll have it the next day because it's yours, right? They'll break into your house while you're in it. You could be sitting in your living room playing computer. They'll walk in. They'll steal your TV while you're sat there talking to them. These are the kind of people. They rob their own mums. Those are the kind of people they are. And those are the kind of person they are. They are cigs, right? Like I said, every child smokes. So it's legal age for smoking here is 16. Legal age for drinking is 18, right? They all smoke in school. They all buy cigs. 2 for 50p. Bargain, eh? Well, that's what they do. You sell them, you know, you sell them. You don't sell packs. You lose your money there, apparently. You know, you sell 2 for 50p, rolling it in. That's what I found out. Finding out this stuff. But, you know, that's life in England. It's bad. It's terrible. It's awful. It's pain. It's unlivable. You know, like I said in my video about my camera, you can't walk around the streets with technology. Like in England, well, you know, we walk around with black and white TVs just so people don't nick them. Is that a colour TV, lad? No, it's black and white. Oh, get away then. That's what it's like, you know. Basically, that's all it revolves around. Everything else in England, fine. Chavs, no. So, you know, you'll get your car stolen. They'll steal you. They'll steal you and try to sell you. That's stupid, you know. It's just not sage. It's not right. It's not wanted. It's not wanted. So what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to put a point across. Don't do it. Don't be a chav. Why? That's life in England revolves around these people. Burberry, walking in the streets in groups, hands down the pants, cigs in hand, swearing, screaming, Fred Perry. Why? Why do it? Why? You know? If you've never been cold in your life before, come to England. Come to England. You'll get cold for nothing. You see a little kid and her mum, a little kid and a mother walking down the street, they'll say something. You probably sit there thinking, what would they say? They'll call her a shoe. But to them, that's an insult. If you've never been insulted before, come to England. You'll get called a bike. You'll get called a bike. But what does it mean? We don't understand. They do. That's a rip. Right? If you right, a rip is when a chav has called you something that makes no sense, but they think it's cool. So you could say, they could come up to you, they could say, "You got long hair, you." That's a rip. That is a rip. Why? Also, another thing, basically, dummy Chavs, right? If you want to see a full episode on Chavs, tell me, I'll do it tonight if you want, tomorrow, whatever. That's life in England. So I know a few people commented what was a chippy. It's just fish and chip restaurant. It's not a restaurant, it's just, you know, it's like a little shop. Fish and chips, I don't know, over there. In wherever you live. I know, sometimes over here they do Chinese shop, restaurants, whatever. That they have fish and chips combined and that. But they do have the normal fish and chip shops. So basically, I've gone over it. Life in England. Simple, plain hell. You know? Just insults. Life in England revolves around these chavs taking the mick out of you for nothing. Right, I'm going to list here. So I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible, right? I'm just going to go over the basic slang words, right? We'll start off with a word that I heard through the first four years of high school. Right, this word scared me for life. It's so annoying. It's, you know, right. The word is called nay. N-E-Y, nay. Right? People use it as a replacement for no. That word is so annoying after you hear it 500 times. You know, like this, you say it to a teacher like, nay miss, nay miss, like an horse. Second one, reet. R-E-E-T, right? People use this for like, reet, how you doing? Or chavs usually say, he's reet, mate, meaning reet. In that term, reet meaning he's cool, he's okay. Don't hit him, don't snap his legs and nick his change. Right? That's reet for you. Of one, the old man saying, T, apostrophe, whatever. Oh, yeah, apostrophe, R-A, ta-ra. It's got on phone, instead of saying bye, ta-ra. It's a little nice one for oldies out there. Right, this one, classic, mint. People usually change that word and put minters. Like they usually do. This is another like a chav thing, right? They get the fingers like this and they go like that. Right? I don't know why. It makes pure no sense. It's just not common logic going on here. Right? So what you do is you could try it on. Get your hands out now, and then they shake it like that. It noise. The louder you do the noise, the cooler you are, right? And that is mint. So if they hear a joke, this is what they do, right? They shake while they do it like they're having a fit. It's like, mint. That's what they do. And, you know, you slap it so hard in your fingers are literally red raw. The redder your fingers go, the cooler you are in school. So, mint. Next time you see a video on YouTube, stand up and go, that's mint, mate. Right? The next one, classic in our school, beast. That's a beast. A beast means proper good. If you get called a beast, like, oh, he's a beast, that lad. You're in with crowd, lad. You know, beast. That's beast. That video's beast. It's awesome. It's hip. It's happening. Next one, tard. Tard, short for retard. Throw that in. Tart, they might use that in other countries, I don't know. You should all know what tart is, like, you know, like a prostitute. I think that's what they usually affiliate it with. Slapper, usually the same thing, like prostitute, sleep with any guys. This one, classic. Ear, like I'm here, mate, I'm here, ear, like E-A, you know? Ear, I'm here. That's another one for you. I don't get it. This one. Ooh, it takes the cake. Buzzing. B-U-Z-Z-I-N. Buzzing. You know the shaky body thing? They also do with this. It's like, buzzing. But, you know, it's like a more shaky. I can't do it like them. They're pros. If there was competitions for this, they'd be leaving me gold stars. It's like, buzzing. They do it when they're shaking. Like, if you're stood in front of them, you're getting an eye out. It's like, buzzing. What are you doing, mate? My eye. Yeah, but it was buzzing. Alright, okay then. It's okay, I've got no eye left, but it's alright. It's alright, it was buzzing. You know? So, buzzing for you. Use it. I don't know what that one says, so I'll skip that one. Or, A-W, alright. Alright. Not alright. Alright, they can't say alright. You think, A-double-L, you think they're mad? Alright? No. They've shortened it down. A-W, alright. You know, I'm alright. This one, I love it. Belters. B-E-L-T-A-S. Belters. That's belters, mate. That's what they do. Belters, awesome. This one, you will laugh, right? Nectar. There is no real spelling for it, from what I know, but this is what I've gathered. N-E-K-T-A, nectar. Nectar means awesome. Straight to the point. That's nectar. I don't get it. Tripping. People like Chavs love to use the word tripping. If they say tripping, the true pros, writing art, wherever it is. Tripping, like tripping on drugs. They always sit in classrooms and sit at the back and say, I'm tripping, miss. I'm tripping. Tripping for you. T-R-I-P-P-I-N. Bean. You know how to spell bean? That's a rip over here. Like I said, rip. A rip, also slang, it's straight to point. It rips you, you know, you've been ripped. Rip, you know, that's an insult, that is. That's an insult. So bean is an insult. I had one in my head then, but I've lost it. Tar. T-A-R. Tar means tar, mate. Tar, thanks. You know, man, you know, they've shortened down words. You know, we'll have shorter words for everything eventually. This one, lad, I've been saying it a lot lately. Lad, you know, how you doing, lad? The last one I've got down here, safe. Safe, mate, that's safe. Safe meaning good, meaning I'm alright. I've gone over my lists of chav words, right? Or British slang. It's not, most of them Chavs like for use, but it's just a bit of British slang for you. Please, don't try this at home. Don't try them at home, because if you get words like nay stuck in your head, you'll just ruin your country, because it spreads like a disease. It passes from school to school. Like one school says nay, the next school says nay, then you'll be saying such words as based. People usually, the word beast, it's not said like that's a beast, it's like based, right? Try based, it's like based, right? You know? Minters, that's what, minters, it's not minters, that's, you're not cool. It's minters, mate. But, I've gone over it. Slang in Britain, right? I might do another one when I gather more words, but that's basically what they do. That's basically the list of pretty much slang that we use here in Britain, England. I've left you with it. Use it wisely, but don't use it too much. I'm just going to show a few examples of what people across the globe think about England. Right. Wrote down some notes. First we're going to start off with food. Now, we all know what's coming up here. Everyone affiliates England with what they eat. Now it always comes to tea and crumpets, and sometimes they throw in scones, right? Tea and crumpets, everyone, right? Anyone from England, tea and crumpets? Anyone? I know I've had tea and crumpets a few times, but very rare. People in England really eat tea and crumpets. And scones, what are you going to call them? You know, it's the truth, So we're clearing it up, right? We're clearing it up right now, right? Changing history in textbooks, right? We're just going to change it now, right? That's food. I don't really know much about what other people think about the food, so I'm just using the ones that I've heard. So that's food. That's what I've heard about food. Tea, crumpets. It's not often. We may drink a bit of Herbal Grey in the afternoon, the tea, but it's not often. You know what I'm saying? Second off is a big one. So I called it way of life. Usually people think England posh. Like you look like. I'll come on to why posh in a minute. Usually they think we're really posh, posh accents, talking broad, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I do a posh accent, I can't do one, so, but really posh, driving around in the BMWs and they're wearing frilly hats and pink sweaters and stuff like that, playing cricket. That's not us. We're not really like that. I don't know what you guys in London are like, but I know you're not like that. I assure you. Drinking. Everyone thinks that England, big drinkers, binge drinking, ales, we're always, down offy down street, off licence where you get your beer. You always think we're down offy getting drunk, we're up floor, smashed out of our heads. It's England's bad for drinking, but it's not that bad, we're clear in history, right? Another thing I've got here. Everyone thinks we love the Queen. We don't love the Queen. I don't know. Some people may love the Queen, but I can assure you most people don't love the Queen. People think that we love the Queen and we go and drink tea with her. If the Queen's offering to come to my house and drink a cup of tea with me, then, you're more than welcome, Queen, whatever. If you're watching, do you want to come to my house and have a brew? I'd love it, but, people from England don't sit and drink tea with the Queen, Change your ways. When you go to school tomorrow, high school, college, university, you in your other countries, I want you to go to them and you tell them, England, they don't drink tea with Queen. I only found out last night. You tell them. Another thing, we all live in London, we all like London. I get tons of questions. London, do you know London? Have you ever been to London? Do you live in London? Those are those accents, I know a friend in London, do you know him? We don't, I don't live in London, I've never been to London, I've heard, after I've done a few videos, it's a nice place, London's a nice place, I'll go check it out, I'll film down there, in a few weeks I'll go down to London, I'll do a bit of filming there, I'll do it for you guys, That's how nice I am, I'll go to London and I'll tell you about my experiences, but don't affiliate England with London, why do it? Another thing that fits into there is the posh accents in London, Everyone in London has a posh accent, right? Because everyone affiliates England with London, and they always, London posh. That's why the posh accents come into play, Speaking of London, speaking to my brother today, who's currently in the US, and he was telling me about a story that he told me a while back, but I mustn't have remembered. Basically, when he was high school in the US, somebody asked him if he was from London and if they knew the friend John. Everyone thinks we all live in London. It's so compact that we know everybody. Like all England is, you might as well call England London from now on. Just get away with everyone else. We'll just sit in London and we'll all know each other. Like, hi Fred, how you doing, mate? There's only 4 of us in England anymore, but they've changed the name to London. That's how it'll be one day. We're changing history, guys. Another thing, important one. Bad teeth. Every film, every programme, every cartoon saying England has bad teeth. We don't have bad teeth. Seriously, we don't. We have perfect teeth, Well, a few of us have perfect teeth, but we have good teeth, Our teeth, they're not green, they're not rotted, they're not black. I don't know what mine are like. I think they're alright. You know what I'm saying? So, just don't say we have bad teeth. They're decent, Changing history as it goes. I've got enough, I've only got a short list here, I'm not going to be on all night. Sports, right? Football hooligans. Never, ever, ever again say that England has the worst football hooligans. England hardly, recent days, England, come on, we don't really have, I love football and I never see on TV anything about football hooligans because we hardly have them. Try going to rough countries, right, where they have barriers protecting the pitch from the fans. Dodgy countries. We don't have that. I've got, every time I go watching games, I'm just about 4 seats away from pitch. All I have to do is walk down 2 seconds, jump on and say hello. But because we're not hooligans, they're 8, you know, they can keep us there. Another thing, sport, croquet and cricket. Who plays croquet and cricket? You know, cricket, I know it's become a big thing lately, but we don't play it that much. You know, kids don't play it, teenagers don't play it, hardly. Croquet, who plays croquet apart from the rich people, you know? Seen a few people like, you know, Tony Blair and his mates playing a bit of croquet. Don't affiliate it with us, you know what I'm saying? You know, like the royal family, you know, we don't like Prince Harry, people like that, you know. Not a fan. Who are they? Another thing, last thing, I'm, you know, passing it on easy. Words. They all think we use old-fashioned words like poppycock, fiddlesticks, bugger. We don't. But I couldn't think of any more, really. But come on, poppycock. Who says poppycock these days? Fiddlesticks. You know? Just changing history now, right? That's it. I've said my stereotype skip. You know, you all know what I'm saying. England, it's just, you know, it's just a nice place, you know. Well, it's alright. And I know I said it the other day about the Chavs video, but that's just my area. I don't know about other people, so I'm not going to comment. But I'm going to end it now. We're going to end the stereotypes. We're going to change books, you know. You're all going to go home, you're all going to write your books and change them. You're already at home. Just change your books, just write down, just because your mates tomorrow and say, England don't have bad teeth. They don't have football hooligans. They don't say fiddlesticks. I'll leave you with that. You know? I want to talk about school life in England, right? Dealing with Chavs in my school, right? Right, so, last year of high school I'm in, right? So, let's start off from the beginning. You have to get into the school first, right? Now, it's not an easy task to get into the actual grounds and into the buildings of school. You American kids, you Canadian kids, you Finland kids, whatever, you may just have to walk into the building, you know? That's common sense right there, isn't it? You just walk into the building, common sense right there, passing you by your eyes. But no. We're in England. We're near my estate, right? Because my school's just about 5 minutes down the road, right? What you do is you have to fight past, right? What they do is these group of lads, Chavs, whatever, hands down pants, finding the penis, right? So hands are down the pants, right? And they got the mobiles playing music. I'll tell you about that later. Right, and they stand there, they're shaking their head, they're doing that, so your eyes, you're losing your eye, right? So you have to walk up steps, right, and they're doing this, and you're covering your eyes, right? You have to duck, right? And then they won't move, so you have to like, make your body really thin and just squeeze past them. If you're a big lad, you're not getting in school that day. So, right, once you're in school, right, our corridors are so big, they're so wide, right, you can fit at least, if you had a group of guys stood next to each other, you could fit 5 of them just walking straight down there, that's how long they're, right? Now, this happens on a daily basis when I go there, right? I walk on, you know, place at the left-hand side, right? And usually when it's empty, right, this actually happened the other day, that's where I thought of it, right? I was walking at left-hand side, right, I was right tight to the corner, and this guy was walking forward, a chav, and he was stood in the middle, right? Like, he didn't stand on right side, no, that makes too much sense. We're dealing with chavs here, that makes too much sense. He didn't stand on right side, no. He wanted the middle, right? So I was on left side, and he wanted the middle, right? And it ended up him bumping into me. You ask, how did it happen, right? What they do is, right, no matter how far away they are, they walk into you. So I was scudged up to the corner like that, and they get the shoulders like that, like, see that? They walk like that, they shake the shoulders like that, right? They do this. Like, you know, carrying logs, they do that. Like, carpet rolls, they do this, carrying carpet rolls. Right, so he just, what they do is, they just walk straight into you, right? So I was there, and he just walked straight into me. And they turn around, right, after they do this into your shoulder. I was walking right up tight corner, right? They have loads of room, but they always do, they make sure, they walk away from the middle, and they just walk straight into you like that, right? And then they turn around, and they say, watch where you're going. They had loads of room, mate. Right, so you're in classroom, right? You sit down, right? The register calls, right? What do chavs call a woman teacher? Guess. Sir. Yeah, the comedians, aren't they? Sir. Like teachers. Jonathan? Yes, miss. Busy D? That's a chav name. Busy D? Yes, sir. No one else laughs. So, you know, that's what they call them. Right, so when you're in classroom, right, you sit down doing your work and they throw stuff. Paper aeroplanes, the classic. Paper aeroplanes, how old-fashioned are they? 1900s they are, but they still throw them. Paper aeroplanes, you know, you turn around doing your work. Oi! Straight in the eye it goes. You know, paper balls, they throw those. Clay, like, if you're in art and, you know, you're doing your clay work, like, say you've got to put a clay pattern, they'll come over, they'll rip it apart and they'll skim it at someone's head. And then they'll turn around and say, thanks, mate, for your clay. They'll just rip up your clay and they'll throw it. Throw paint, they'll draw paint on your clothes, they don't care. It's not their clothes, right? So still they throw stuff right at your head. And at the teachers. Why? Another thing, mobile phone music. Mobile phone music. If you don't have it in your country, it's a chav calling. It's a chav. It's what you know a chav by, apart from the SIGs inside. It's a chav music, right? They have the mobile phones, right? You come in a classroom, what they do is, it's the MCing music. They turn it on full blast, right? So you sort there doing your work. Classroom silent, right? You could be reading Great Expectations or something. Then all of a sudden, Wiki 1 2, Wiki 1 2, oi, Wiki 1 2, Wiki 1 2, the DJ mic is calling, the DJ mic. You turn around, you get busy at back corner like this. What are you all staring at? It's just MCing. It's my brother did it last night. Honestly, and you know, like Crazy Frog, because they can't afford to buy it, you know what they do? They record it off TV. You know, they put TV so you can hear all noise in the background, like, you know, you can hear it background, ring, 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 da ding, ding, and then you can hear the mums in the background shooting, what do you want for tea, Johnny? Ring, ring, what do you want for tea, Johnny? You know, and you know that man that says you can buy it for 50p at end, you can hear him in it. But apparently that's cooler. That's cooler for having him in background, right? So all their music, they just record it off TV and they play it at class. Just random occasions. And they beg the teachers for let them play it. They're like, miss, miss, miss. He's a sir. He's a male. Miss, can I play it? I'll put it on really low. You know, room's shaking. They bring in, iPod Nanos, they have speakers. They bring those into school. And they put them, they all sit at the back desk at table. They sit on back desk. And they write like that. They write with the knees out like this and they start writing and they've got big massive speakers at back at room, bouncing your head up. So you're sat at front of the classroom like this, doosh, 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 trying to do your work. It's mad. Setting things on fire. You wouldn't believe it. Some of you are probably thinking, what you on about setting things on fire? They really do. You know gas taps, if you have science, like you might call it biology, chemistry over there, whatever, chemistry, because, you know gas taps, we have gas taps, like small orange things, right, and you turn them like that, and there's a little nozzle, and gas comes out of it. They set those on fire. I've seen it. One lad, he got his lighter out, he went, check this out, he lit it, literally, I swear to God this happened, there were flames gashing out of it, and he was having a laugh. They get the books and they started burning the books with it. This could all reverse, it could go down gas tap and it could blow up the tank. You could die, but the teachers sat at the front room like this. Don't do that. Don't, it's wrong. We could all die in 50 seconds, why are you doing it? There's literally flames flying across the classroom. It goes about that far. It stretches this whole camera. It goes about that far, and they just turn it off after a bit, and then they're like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." Some lad the other day, thermometer, in fire. So they still burn stuff, Ripping up your work. Ripping up with your work. When does that end? When does it end when they stop ripping up your work? Why? You could be an art, right? You've just finished your mosaic, You're signing your name. They'll come over, they'll say, "Hey, dickhead, give me that now." No, it's my work, you see, it's my work. What do you mean it's your work? It's my work, dickhead. I did it, you stole it off me. No, I just did it, my name's on it. No, it's not! And they'll rip it up. They do. The IG work still, the IG work, the IG bags, the IG coat, that still happens in school. They'll throw it on top of like big massive shelves where you can't get it off. You have to get ladders. You won't believe this. Last year, one of my mates, he got his school bag, thrown on the science roof, and no teachers would help him. So what happened? Because the guy, you know, got worried. You know, the guy threw it on the roof. Because he got worried that he'd get levered, he got a stool out of science, and then he put it next to the wall. He scaled up the wall like gravity drain pipes, jumped onto the roof, and got it down. The teacher did nothing. His bag was on the roof. I laughed. I stood there and at the playground just like laughing at him. I couldn't help. I would have got beaten up, you know, the Chavs. And what they do is also they put your stuff outside the building, and you know, like back doors to the buildings, and they put your stuff out. When you run out to get your stuff, they lock the door. They lock the door. Original. You know, I might go and ask them for some comedy ideas. They're so original, these guys. I don't know how they do it. What else have we got? Shouting and making animal noises in class. You must think I'm in a classroom with retards. It's unbelievable how they make animal noises and everything. It's like one guy sits at the back of the classroom and is like, yeah, and all this stuff. What are you doing, mate? You know, why are you making animal noises? And they shout their heads off and everything. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's not common logic. I forgot in here. Supply teachers, the classic. You must do it over where you are. Supply teachers. Supply teachers are the spark of the plug. They are. What are supply teachers? Supply teachers are they're like missiles. They're just. What you call? I can't think right now. They're just bait. It's just bait. It's just something that you know. Whatever you do, whatever you say, you're gonna get away with it. Supply teachers, right? Old famous tricks with supply teachers. We all know it. Fake names, right? What supply teachers do in schools, right? It's because you know they don't know if it run the school like system. You know, like because we have like registers on computers, and because they can't do that, what they have to do is they have to pass around a paper register and you write your name down, right? And then at end of you know, when you know everyone's wrote the name down, like, cause I'm usually sort of back at, you know, you read all list and you get names like a Joanne Card, Joanne Card, you get like Joe Blogs, Jesus Christ, you get Jesus Christ. That happened the other day. Oh God, bend over, bend over. Because we had a new teacher the other day when we got back, and he asked us to pass the register around for who he had new in class, and this, because like everything I say is true. Most of it's happened to me, and he said don't be writing fake names down. And when it got to me, I looked at it and it had Joanne Card on it, Jesus Christ, and bend over. Oh God, but that's celebrity. But just supplies. Why do it to yourself? Oh, it's just so funny. I just can't imagine the pain they must feel when they get home, supply teachers. Alright, hello, welcome to Chavs, part 2. Now, on this little short, I'm going to do basically Chavs on the outside of what happens in my daily school routine, right? So the other day I covered the basics on, you know, dealing with Chavs on the inside of school, right? So now, the bell rings, right? Class has ended, right? Getting outside. An hard job. You want what? Because like I said, the corridors are big, but where the door is, there's one tiny door, and 900 students have to get through that door. And like because we're at top year now, like most of our guys, they just push through them. You know, there's some that fight back, and what they do is they get their shoulders like this. Like, try walking in school like that. If you walk in school like that, people know you mean business. Walk in school like that. Jesus. Walk in school like that. And what they do is this one tiny red door, right, and there's like thousands, there's hundreds of people coming in there, and they come in and they go out the same door, right? So you've got some guys who do this, they go, and they smack people in the eyes, and then so you're stood there like that, taking it face and taking it other face, you know, just every direction you're getting punches. It's mad. So you're finally outside, right, and then you know, your shoulders, right, and basically, right, what you may think now, right, This is a myth. This is a myth in some schools, right? Getting thrown in the bin. It happens. It happens at our school. Never happened to me because I'm pretty tall, you know. Well, not that tall, but you know, I'm fair tall. They do it to small kids, right? The other week, because we started back, all small kids were there, and you know, year 7s. You know, America, you won't understand what I'm saying. But this high school goes from year 7 to 11, and then you leave, you're out. And all small kids, and a group of lads got a small kid, and they all put bin and they put him in the bin. That happens. That actually happens. That's how rough it is. I remember when we was in year 7, I have a small mate. He's still small now. He's about that big, and he's in, you know, last year, and they threw him in bin. Why? Why do it to yourself? You know. 3. This is the stone cold killer, right? What they do is, you know, you get the rugby players, the football players, you know, kicking balls around, and what they do is, right, instead of playing football and rugby, you know what they do? They play football and rugby with you, right? So you could be stood in the yard, you could be stood there acting cool like school, you know. And then, you know what they do? They kick the ball in air and they see who it is. It actually happens it always happens when the bell rings. You know, like when everyone's running in towards one building. You know, so there's a big group of people. You know what I mean? There's like 800 people just tight into one place. What they do is they kick the ball 100 miles an hour, so you could be stood there. That's what they do. It happened to one of my mates. It's happened before. Once, what year was it? It's about 3 years ago. They knocked a teacher out. They kicked a basketball up at her, and they knocked the teacher and it hit her on the head, and she was KO'd on the floor, and she had to get taken to hospital. I laughed because it didn't happen to me, but you believe me, it's happened before. They just kick rugby balls and they kick football straight in her, and whoever it hits, you know, it's like, it hit you. And then if you fall over, it's like, you fell over, you fell. All school chants it. You know, it's well dodgy. Right, Right, toilets. Oh no. Oh no. Hold it in. Hold it in. Hold it in for your own good. I remember when my brother was back in high school, he was telling me a story about when he went to toilets, and they have like 5 cubicles lined up there, and they have, you know, the urinal parts where, you know, you stand next to a dude and have a slash. And what they did is a bunch of chavs, they were smoking while having a pee. What a coincidence. So, you know, just having a smoke and having a pee, and what they did is my brother stood next to him, had a slash, pulled his Johnson out, and what they did is they went, and they got cig, and they were put it cig near his Johnson. That's how rough it is. You know, they'll look at it and they'll grab it off you, and they'll be like, yeah, does it like digs? Does it like digs, mate? That's what they do. So what I do is I went to cubicles. No matter what, I'm in cubicles, right? But even in there, it's rough. You know what they do? They kick in the cubicle doors. None of cubicle doors have locks on. They've all broke them off. They all stand in there and smoke. You know. Any of you having a slash, you could be stood there having a slash in cubicle, and then douche, you know, they'll kick open doors and beat you up, flush your head down the toilet, you know, why? And you know, sometimes you could be stood there having a slash at urinal, and then you know what they do in cubicle, you know what they do? It's all people in urinals, they sing football songs. They chant football songs, so when you walk out, you're washing your hands, they're all stood there in a line like this. Oggy, 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 oi, oi, oi. They're all stood there having a slash singing the songs like that. What's all that about? Moving on. It just, you know, throwing stuff. Just they throw, like from canteen, like you know when you get food from canteen, they just get it, and you know they'll walk past you and they'll go, you look gay, and they'll throw chips at your face and hot dogs, like slap hot dog outside at face. You're wasting your own money, mate. You've just paid that much money for an hot dog and you come and slap it on my face. Right, final thing, keep it short and sweet. Fights. When a fight happens, I'm gonna lie if I say I don't do it, but you know, everyone runs to it, fight, they'll do it in all schools, fight, but it gets rough in our school. the people who weren't involved at the fight at first get involved just because they want to see the fight, the main fight that's happening. So like there'll be two guys in the middle fighting, then people like get away! I want to see it! I want to see it! So some guy will be on the floor bleeding. Like, he'll be having no teeth left. He'll be like, I want to see the fight, and then everyone's stood around them, and he's like, I want to. Oh, I'm in the fight now. Chavs fear. No skull, no clue. And they walk around with speakers, like, they walk around with big massive speakers outside their head. Dish, 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 dish. All the floors rocking, and, you know, they walk around with fags, you know, they hide around buildings that smoke fags. You know, that's basically, keep it short and sweet, school on the outdoors. It's not as bad as inside, but, you know, you get balls kicked at your head, teachers get knocked out, you know, you get burnt, your Johnson gets burnt when you're in a slash, you get put in bins, you know, if you see some crazy stuff, right? It might not be entertaining as the first one, but now at least you know.
Today I would like to talk about the annual celebration here in England, Guy Fawkes Night, or also known as Bonfire Night. For those of you who don't know, and possibly live over abroad, Guy Fawkes Night is an annual celebration here in England where we celebrate the foiling of the Gunpowder Plot. So, every 5th of November now in England, we celebrate Guy Fawkes Night by setting bonfires, big flames, and fireworks off. Why are you doing a bonfire night video not on the 5th, but on the 7th? Well, this is where it comes into place, right? You must now be thinking that bonfire night is the most favourite part of the year. Oh yes. I did a video on Halloween in England talking about how Chavs loved Halloween, but guys, Halloween and Christmas compare nothing to bonfire night for Chavs. If there was a Chav Bible, bonfire night would be a commandment that they had to celebrate. But these guys, literally, it's like 10 orgasms in one. As soon as the stroke of midnight on the 4th, as soon as it's November the 5th, that's it. It's, they get an urgent, they get a thrill, you know, it's like, oh, God, you can't explain it. But, the Chavs love bonfire night. If you see a Chav on bonfire night during the day, they'll be at school, they'll be like, hey, you know, we're going egging tonight. Well, that's what they do. They go egging. That's one of the things they do. They go egging, and they buy fireworks from carnies, you know, Three Fingers, we're called waltzers. Yeah, them type of people. Three Fingers, wooden leg, been at waltzers all their life. You know, we're called dodgems. You know, you see them at fairs. If you live in England, you'll see them at fairs, you know, proper rough folk. You know, pound a ride kind of stuff like that. And Chavs they buy fireworks off them because, you know, nobody's stopping them because they're carnies. It's like, I don't know, it's going to get racial. It's like, you go into a shop with a minority behind the counter and you want to buy alcohol or tobacco and you're under 18, they'll serve you if it's late at night and nobody else is around because they don't care. It's like that kind of thing. Carnies don't care. They'll sell you anything, you know. They do shady deals for a corner. You can practically buy 100 fireworks for a tuppence, for half a shilling these days from carnies. We got some carnies down the road that sell them. We bought them off them, of course, because they're cheap. I'm not going to go to Asda, am I? And get fleeced for fireworks. It's an outrage prices these days. Basically, these Chavs love fireworks, and they love nothing more than going around bragging about what they're going to do on bonfire night. You'll see them walking around high school. Pants will be like that, because they've got a rock on. They literally have boners walking around all day, because they know it's bonfire night. You could strap a rocket to it, it's that hard. The only time of year they get a boner. Halloween, semi, you know. Christmas kind of flaccid a bit still, but bonfire night is the night where it's fully erect and at its best. They love bonfire night. But this is the catch. They don't set fireworks off on bonfire night. That's the catch. Bonfire night is where they go egging and they go stealing, and they'll go and mess things up, fuck things up. Quit myself out. They'll go and fuck things up, really. It's for other people. But they do have a short amount of fireworks on bonfire night, and they run around streets with them, like in the round, and like throw them over people's yards and throw them anywhere. They don't care. There's no point to it. There's no master plan behind it, because of course, you know. So what they do is, this is why I'm doing the video on the 7th actually, is after bonfire night, they go to these carnies, and these carnies really want to sell them off now. They want to sell the fireworks off because they don't need them anymore. So from the 6th, all the way to January, after New Year's Day, it's fireworks all over in England. You can hear them now. I don't know if you can hear that. But before, they were booming and they throw them down streets. You've got fireworks in your backyard and everything. They just love setting fireworks off after the day. It's like, I don't know what it is. You know when you're underage and you're doing something wrong, and it's like, ooh, I'm never smoking, I'm under... You know, it's like that kind of thing. It's like, ooh, it's not bonfire night anymore, but I'll set fireworks off because I'm really big and tough, you know. That's what it is. So the whole night, till January now, all we have in England is boom, 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 every second of the day, every second of the night, because these guys are walking around with 9mm in the pants and love nothing more than just throwing fireworks. It's just, I can't explain the buzz. Try and stay away from November to January, because you're just going to get a firework up your ass, really. Because that's what they do. You know. You hear them. But those are nothing compared to what we had before and what we are going to get tonight. Some more it's... The people living in England will understand what I'm saying. You know, that after November the 5th, you've not even touched the brim of the firework destruction, because these guys are running around on parks, blowing crap up, putting them in bins. They love it.